Hi, this is Dr. Geneva, and welcome to another episode of Ignite to Impact. Today we're going to have a conversation with the recipient of President Barack Obama's Lifetime Achievement Award, Dr. Missy Johnson. Hear about her incredible story of personal and physical challenges. She's a breast cancer survivor. She was in a coma for 45 days. She was in a horrible car accident, but she now is fearless. In fact, she's written a book, Fearless Women Rock. She's having a conference, Fearless Women Conference. She is just fearless. Listen to her as she shares her incredible strategies for success.
Welcome to Ignite to Impact, a weekly podcast about next generation leadership and what it takes to make a difference at work, with family, and in your community. Get ready to be inspired as we pull back the curtain and dive into intimate and energetic conversations with achievers and doers who are in the trenches navigating workplace politics and influencing change. Get ready to hear how leaders fail and get back up, learning how to keep it together while traveling in their leadership journey. Our mission: to help you with leadership tips and strategies that you can use to get fast results and help make your business, community, and world a better place. Now, here's your host, Master Leadership Strategist, Dr. Geneva Williams. So, let's ignite to impact.
Hi, this is Dr. Geneva, and welcome once again to I'm just so excited about this conversation. I have wanted to have this individual as a guest on my podcast for a long time. And I have her, not only is she a guest, and you're going to hear from her, but she's in studio. So I can just look across the way and see her smiling, beautiful, gorgeous, vibrant self sitting across from me. And I'm talking about Dr. Missy Johnson. And if you don't know Dr. Missy, well, you will now. And you are in for a real treat. She's founder of CTC Personal Development Institute, which is an organization that shows women in corporate America how to redevelop, rebrand, and reposition themselves so that they can transition from corporate America into entrepreneurship and really live their own life on their own terms. So that's a one piece that she does, and that's great. She's also CEO of Fearless Women Rock. Okay. And this is a platform created for women to share their courageous stories. And I'm just so excited about that. Now, I'm sure you've probably seen Dr. Missy because she's been on the cover of Speakers Magazine, Power Network Conference, NBC, ABC, Huffington Post, in addition to many, many other media television outlets. She is a John Maxwell certified trainer. And, if you know anything about leadership, you know that Maxwell is probably the leadership guru. She's also recipient of President Barack Obama's Lifetime Achievement Award. Hey, as well as the Michigan Chronicle Women of Excellence just in 2018. But what we really want you to know is that she also is a survivor of a car accident. She spent 47 days in a coma. She had stage 3 breast cancer. She's just experienced so much in her life. And so obviously she's releasing a new book called Fearless Faith, Life After Cancer: How to Survive a Life Tsunami and Win. Meet Dr. Missy. How are you?
I'm winning.
Yes. Yes, you are. You are. I am, that is the truth. I can't tell you how many times I said to Pam Perry, where is Dr. Missy? I want to have her on my podcast because of course I know your story. I follow you. You're just phenomenal. But there may be some in our listening audience who aren't as familiar with you as I am. So, hey, tell us about Dr. Missy. And we like to go way back. Tell us about what it was like being Missy growing up.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yes.
I was an all-A student.
Okay.
Academics was never really a challenge for me. I protected my sisters. I love my sisters because I'm the oldest of the sisters. Can I say I've been a boss ever since I was a little girl?
Oh, yes, you can. Especially speak the truth, girl.
Yes, I was a boss ever since I was a little girl because I just love protecting people. I love helping people. I just have a servant spirit. And one thing that I want to say about coming up is that one of the reasons that I am coaching is because of my aunt who passed about 15 years ago, which a lot of people don't really know this, but we're going to talk about the cancer piece, but I just want to say coming up, my aunt Maddie Jackson, who is no longer with us, she is really the primary reason why I'm sitting in this seat.
Okay.
Because, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but she was really a boss, and she was my best friend. She was my mother's sister, and if it had not been for her paving a way for me that she didn't even know about, I wouldn't be sitting in this seat. Okay. So coming up, I was just a boss.
Okay, all right. But tell us right now, what role did she pay for you? How did she do that?
Yes, she was the Sunday school teacher.
Okay.
And some of this is in my book, Fearless Faces Coming Up.
Okay.
She was also very, very dedicated to God. And I was the one in church, kind of like the rebellious one. I'm going to challenge you. I just can't help it because, I want to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the kind of person I was. But she trained me to be a servant. That's what I love about her. And she loved the children, like the primary kids. And before she died, and she paved that way for me because she had breast cancer. Okay. And her daughter had breast cancer.
All right.
And they died 24 hours apart. And we end up having a double funeral. And what happened is that I seen all the emptiness on the kids' face from her not being there in their lives. And right before she died, because we used to have a Cedar Point trip every year in our church, because she was so involved with the youth, and she said, Missy, she said, I need you to work with me with the kids. And I said, I don't like no kids. And she said, well, I need somebody to secure the bag. Meaning, well, secure the bag is a 21st century word, but she needs someone to hold the money. So I can hold the money. Okay. And when you got somebody holding your money, you better have somebody who you can trust.
Right, right.
So we did that. And before she passed, she said, are you going to Cedar Point? I was, yes, Auntie. And she said, well, did you get the food for the kids? And I said, yes, I did. And she said, I'm going to Cedar Point too. I said, okay. But she was saying this from her hospital bed. Okay. 2 days later, she died. A day after that, 24 hours later, her daughter died, which is my cousin. And when I seen the emptiness on their face, I asked God. And when I think about it, it's so emotional. Because I asked God, I said, what is it can I do to help others? And he told me to work with the kids, who I didn't like. Okay. So I said, okay. And then from there, I started working with the parents of the kids. Okay. And that is how I started to become fearless, because I wanted to make sure not that my legacy lives on, but that her legacy lives on. Maddie Jackson.
So you're living her legacy.
Yes.
But you've created some paths of your own. So tell us. So come on, continue on with your story.
Well, after that, after working with the high school students, which was so phenomenal, I raised over $100,000 working with them. And one thing about me is that I'm a general, Dr. Geneva, I have to say that. But for a long time, I didn't want to own that. I would take all these personalities tests and say, oh, you're a leader, you can lead. And I was like, I really didn't want to lead, because sometimes, Dr. Geneva, when you're leading people, some people will be intimidated, and I didn't want to intimidate people. So I was always looking for acceptance, even though I look confident, even though I look like a boss, even though I was fearless. But deep down on the inside, I had really, really serious struggles, because I didn't want to be a leader. But because my external exude leadership, I had to fake it until I make it. So validation, accepting, when people hear my voice, I started going through those changes to the point I got tired of faking it. And one of the turning points in my life of faking it is when I ran for a political seat in my city.
Okay.
Some people may know or may not know, but I'm really into politics. And it's not because I'm just like into politics. I'm into change.
Okay.
That's why I'm into politics. I end up being on the Michigan Democratic Black Caucus Executive Leadership Board.
Okay.
I ran with some political leaders. I even ran for a position. And just before, when President Obama became the 44th president of the United States, I was personally invited by him to attend that rally in Chicago. And when he won, I came back and I said, you know what? There's not a lot of people of my skin color that was working those campaigns. So I said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to run.
Okay.
And I did. And I ran great. But what happened, I felt 250 votes shy of getting my seat.
Okay.
And when that happened, I faded to black, because if a black president was going to be a president of the United States and I couldn't serve the people as a black female, I couldn't handle it. So what happened, I wasn't afraid of failure. I was afraid of success.
So then, you've got so many life experiences, so many things happen to you.
Yes.
Okay, but yet you're this fearless leader.
Yes.
And you've come to terms with it. And I can relate so much to what you're saying. I was a daughter of a civil rights hero.
So
And it was always expected that I would be a leader. I take after him and and he and my mother both, but he was the real leader. And it was always expected that I would be a leader. And I guess it was okay. I don't know. All I remembered is that none of the kids I grew up with really treated me like a leader. I mean, they would ostracize me, and they would always, would always be some problem, etc., because I was quote unquote special. I was the teacher's pet because of my parents. I was the one that always, how come she got to be up there? You understand? And so I had to get through all of that, but everybody expected me to take on leadership. So I can relate to what you're saying, but you a fearless boss. So let's talk about some of those life experiences that you've had, because you rock.
Well, like I said, we could talk from here to the moon, but what I would tell you is that I had to get to the point where I had to learn my identity.
Okay.
And I had to accept that maybe I am a general.
Okay.
But don't tell nobody.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I am fearless. But don't tell nobody. Because I'm going to step on somebody's toes. I'm going to intimidate somebody. And somebody not going to like me. But I tell you, when you get to the point number one, when you get into a 60 miles an hour head-on collision in Detroit, and your son was in the car, and I was the only one that was injured.
Okay.
like seriously injured. And I end up losing my memory for 3 months. Didn't even know it. I'm thinking people are lying to me. I'm repeating myself and all this. And when you get to the point where your marriage was being challenged, but your husband stayed by your side, he never left you. That was point number one. I think God got an assignment for me. Then I get to the point where I end up falling 12 feet in my house. Some people don't know that.
Okay.
Where I broke the bones on my left side, and I was in a wheelchair for 9 months. And God, he kept me again. That's when I'm starting to say, you know what? Maybe God got something for me. I think maybe he got something for me. And then when I went into the hospital, which was like the big thing, and I went into the hospital and I ended up having surgery, but I never came out of I came out of the surgery, but when I came out of surgery, I never woke up.
Okay.
And until 47 days later.
So you were in a coma.
Yes.
For 47 days.
Exactly. But I never knew it.
Of course, yeah.
And when I came out, and I was connected to 13 machines, when I'm cut wide open from my pelvic to my breastplate, and all I could see was my skin. And my husband eventually told me what happened. I said, Lord, if you allow me to go where you want me to go, do what you want me to do, and say what you have me to say, I'm going to be a general. I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to be a leader. And I'm going to tell women that no matter what is going through in your life, you better not on my watch. If you walk up with me, you better not on my watch say that what you can't do. And I really thought that was it, because I thought my arms was too short to box with God. So I said, okay, I'm good. Let me go ahead and do my Fearless Women Rock Conference and all this other stuff. And then on April the 17th of 2017, I was announced that I was the recipient of the President Barack Lifetime Achievement Award. On April 18th, on my lunch break, I found out I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was mad. It was just recently, Dr. Geneva, that I want to share that I was angry with God. And I was very cautious about saying that, because I'm just a church girl from Detroit. And the way I was raised, if you say you was angry with God, they crucify you. But you know what? I'm past all that. I was angry with God, because I'm like, if I've been through all this and you brought me through all this, why are you doing that? Why are you allowing this to happen to me? I got to the point when my friend told me, he said, Missy, he said, God knew that you can carry it, even though you didn't. So I went back and asked God to forgive me. I said, Lord, would you please forgive me for everything you brought me through? Can you just forgive me and just let me go through this? So what I did, Dr. Geneva, I had to take off my natural self. Like you see me now, I had to take off my I had to take off my natural self. And I said, this is going to be a supernatural thing. And Lord, whatever you got, I need for you to cover me from my head to my toe with your supernatural, so I can walk through this thing. And that's what I did to become fearless. I walked through this thing, not in my natural, even though I had my natural chemo and all the other stuff, because I'm a spiritual being having a natural experience. But guess what? I just started eating my popcorn, because I knew that God was going to bring me through. I knew what it's going to look like on the other end. I didn't know, listen to this, I did not know what I was going to go through, but I knew what I was going to be through on the other end. And that's how I became super fearless.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I mean, what can you say after? So I mean, there's so many things I want to know about how you did it.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So give us a couple.
Okay. I will do that.
2 things.
I will give you 2.
Share with us 2 things that really helped you get on that other side, or at the minimum helped you see that other side.
Yes.
Or maybe it was the faith that had you see that other side. But how, and because faith without works. Okay, so what was the works part that you did?
The works part. Well, I have a book coming out called Fearless Faith.
Yes.
Life After Cancer.
Yes.
How to survive a life tsunami and win.
Yes.
And the reason why I say tsunami is because when we think about tsunami, we think about what happened a couple of years ago, on the other side of the country when that tsunami just came in and just wiped all of them out. The reason why I say tsunami, because you're going to have a trilogy of things that's going to come in your life that's going to try to wipe you out. One of my wipeouts was a car accident. One of my wipeouts was coma. One of my wipeouts was cancer. But in my book, I talk about the winning strategies, but I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
So one of the winning strategies, and when I say these things, it comes out of my mouth, but it's really a process. And that's what I want people to say.
Right.
I could say it to you, but it's a process.
Yes.
And one of the things that I had to do is I had to remove all distractions because it was my life or somebody else's life. And because I made up in my mind that I want what I know what the result is what I want the result to look like, I had to remove all the distractions. That means people, that means family members. If they wasn't positive and didn't support me, you out. That means that whatever I was going through, whether it was what I was going through, things with negativity with my husband, because it wasn't all cute. Even though my husband loved me, he was some Dr. Missy, but we had some challenges. So anything that was negative, I had to remove that. I had to remove everything that did not serve me. Anything that did not serve my conscious level.
Yes.
I'm just not talking about my physical level, but I'm talking about my conscious level and my subconscious level. I had to remove everything, and there is a process that you do to remove those things.
Okay.
And I talk about that. So that's one thing.
All right.
Remove it.
Remove distractions.
Remove them.
And remove all things that don't care, love, and support.
That's right.
You and what your journey.
Absolutely. Because you have to be selfish.
Okay. So be selfish.
Remove distractions and be selfish.
And be okay with that.
And be okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's a good one. That's number one.
And number two, rescue. I had to go back and rescue myself because I'm so used to wearing high heel shoes. I'm so used to wearing my long hair. I'm so used to having big breasts. I'm just going to say it. Size 42 GG. That I was so accustomed to her. But when she came off, I had to go back and rescue who I really was on the inside. And I really didn't know who she was because I covered her up with the hair. I covered her up, with my body. So when you have to go back and rescue who you really are, who you came into this world, it's a big transformation. And when I finally met her, the girl without the hair, the girl without the chest, when I finally met her, I had to start falling in love with her. And when I say rescue her, I love her so much. So even when I go back to my hair, because I'm going back, and guess what? I might take it off. I'm not going to get the breast again. But after I went back to go rescue her, she was really my friend. And I love her so much. So two things. Remove the distractions and be selfish. And go back and rescue your authentic self. Those are two of the winning strategies.
Yes, my goodness. And there's more that you have in your book.
It's 12 altogether.
Oh my goodness.
Because I touch on everything.
Yes, absolutely. Well, if you're just joining us, my guest, and as I said earlier, I've been dying to get her to be with me on my podcast, Dr. Missy Johnson, who is just sharing her lived experiences with us and how she, through lots of struggle, has transformed herself, found herself, now has moved forward. And, got a book coming out, got a conference going on. I'm just so delighted she's here. And I got to tell you, we were both in Dallas, Texas, a few days ago.
Yes.
We were there for different events, but we ran into each other and had a fabulous dinner, conversations. But see, I got her now on my podcast. See, I had to bring her to you. Now, aren't you glad that I brought her to you? So, Dr. Missy, tell us about this conference that's coming up.
Absolutely. I am stoked. I'm bananas about it. I did my conference last year with cancer.
Okay.
With cancer.
Okay.
When I asked my cancer doctor, my oncologist, could I do it? She said, "Well, darling, you got to be into chemo. You're gonna be doing the chemo. How you going to do it?"
Right.
I said, "My chemo was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
My conference is on Saturday. Can I do it?" She said, "Yes, but to be very, very, very careful, protect your energy." So I got my team together, and we did it. This year, August 10th and 11th, I don't have cancer. And we're going to be all the way turned up. We got a winning strategy. And what the conference is about helping women to become speakers, coaches, and authors.
Okay.
It is that platform.
Okay.
Because one thing that's happening is that when you start looking at the statistics, a lot of women are going to be going into the entrepreneur field, sometimes by choice, by the year 2020, because our economics is changing so quickly right before our eyes. So that conference is about giving women the tools, the tricks, and the things to just get ready.
Okay.
And guess what? Some people might not want to be entrepreneurship field, but you need to get yourself ready so you can stay relevant of what's going on.
Yes. The
other piece about the conference that I'm excited about is that we're going to have I'm about to pop right now because I just got a phone call of my speaker that's coming. First of all, I'm the keynote speaker.
Oh, of course. But of course.
I'm the keynote speaker.
Yes.
And I have to say that. But I have someone who is coming that when it comes out on Monday.
Oh, you can't tell us here but you know what? Let me tell you, because we're taped. Okay, all right. Well, you can whisper to me afterwards.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Yes, right.
Look, off air.
Right, off air.
off air.
Okay.
And I'm just so excited about it. So it's going to be announced on Monday. But I'm also crazy excited because I have a book called Fearless Women Rock.
Yes.
21 courageous authors tell their story of how they overcame. And they're coming from all over the country. They're coming from New York. They're coming from Florida. They're coming from California. And I'm just excited about that project as well.
Oh, my gosh. So where's it being held?
The Hilton Garden Inns in Romulus, Michigan. Hilton Gardens Inn, Romulus, Michigan. Fearless Women Rock. Number 2.
Yes. Okay. That is... it's just phenomenal. So you gave us some strategy, you gave us 2 powerful strategies, and they're part of your 12 in your book.
Yes.
You're having this phenomenal conference coming up where you'll have 21 of your courageous authors from all over the country coming and sharing and empowering women and inspiring women.
Well, they're a part of the book,
and they're a part of the book
because on that Friday we're having a fashion photo shoot for the book.
Right. Yes. Oh my goodness, how wonderful!
And we have a violinist coming in.
Oh,
you know what I do with
yes,
big.
right.
I'm a general now.
Yes,
I'm good.
Right. So what's next, General?
August the 4th, I'm going to be in New York.
Okay.
Speaking at this conference called Fly, Faith, Love, and You.
All right.
And Tracy Braxton's going to be there. Jenny Foster Brown, sister publisher. We have a VP from the work with the Sean P. Diddy in his Tribe. She's coming, and it's just so many phenomenal things. And I'm also speaking in Tucson, Arizona, August 25th.
Oh my goodness, you're busy.
Yes.
And so where do you see where are you taking your business? What you're doing? What do you see yourself doing? And what's the future assignment?
The future assignment is Fearless Women Rock is coming to your city, to your country, and to your continent.
Oh,
that's where we're going.
Okay, so you're taking it global.
Yes. Yes.
That's phenomenal. Well, I do want you to know that we love you. We're so happy for all your fantastic success. And if there, as we're winding down, I know there's so many who are inspired by your story, but I particularly would like you to say something to young girls coming up. If you had, a microphone to each young girl in the world, what would you say?
What I would say to them is come close. Because I'm a touchy-feely person. And I want them to put their hand on my belly. And I want them to know that you have something that you need to birth that's on the deep side of you. And no matter what happens to you, you can birth that thing. I have had 24 surgeries in the past 3 years. And I have cuts, drains, and everything. And with those young girls, I said, you might not have 24 surgeries, but you might have something in your life that's stopping you from living the dream that you want to live. But what I want to let you know, when you're touching my stomach, I'm here to birth that thing out of you. That's what I want to tell them. And don't ever forget it.
Yes. Well, the world is a better place because you're in it.
Oh, yes.
And
Thank you so much.
God has a definite purpose for you, and you're living out that purpose. We love you. And please go to, and so how can people get in touch with you?
Okay.
Yes.
They can get in contact with me with Fearless Women Rock Conference, Fearless Women Rock Conference. You can sign up for the email and you get information on the conference. But when you get that, you will also get emails from me about what else I am doing.
Yes.
Or they can also email me at fearlesswomenrockllc@gmail.com, fearlesswomenrockllc@gmail.com, or on Facebook, Ask Dr. Missy. Ask Dr. Missy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Ask Dr. Missy, and just DM me. Don't be sending me, no potions and no lotions. I ain't trying to be funny, but if you really want to work with me, if you really need some encouragement, just DM me, because I get lotions and potions all the time. I got enough.
Yeah.
I'm good. But thank you for those lotions and potions anyway. But we on another level.
Yes, okay. And you're not in studio with me, but if you do go on her website, you will see how absolutely gorgeous Dr. Missy is, and how she just is so vibrant, and really this fearless life that she talks about, rocking it. She is rocking it herself. And so she just doesn't speak them words. You've heard her story, so she's lived the experience, and she be looking fabulous. So you want to be like her.
You're my muse.
Oh, listen to you, girl. Back at you. You should just see her. She's fabulous. Thank you so much, Dr. Missy. And we all are just so blessed.
Oh, thank you. It's my faith
that you're in this world with us. Thank you.
It's my faith.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Ignite to Impact with your host, Dr. Geneva Williams, an award-winning executive, facilitator, and master leadership strategist. Dr. Geneva is passionate about inspiring others to get their own leadership on, and empowering the next generation with leadership tools and tips to help make the world a better place. Sign up to download Dr. Geneva's audiobook on leadership. Get the show notes, links, and other resources at drgenevaspeaks.com. That's drgenevaspeaks.com. Thanks for listening. Please share this podcast to those in your community via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Google+, and leave us a 5-star review in iTunes. When you do that, it helps others find the show better. Send your questions or comments to info@drgenevaspeaks.com and use the hashtag Ignite2Impact.